We all know why we're here. So let me ask you a question then. Why the big secret? Truth seekers, we're really the true leaders. Keep it grooving, the movement like two-seaters. Turn it up, we knocking through both speakers. It's time we get the truth from the big secret keepers. Hey, truth seekers, we're really the true leaders. Keep it grooving, the movement like two-seaters. Turn it up, we knocking through both speakers. It's time we get the truth from the big secret keepers. Hey, break it down, now can you peep it? They're deceiving all the people. Let me ask you, what's the secret? Misinformation and lies, a devious disguise. They want the EMF blast until our brains is fried. Oh, point their beams in the sky. Oh, it's a movie now. This world is all CGI. Their plot is truly foul, but we're here to rise up and bring the real. Time is now, truth seekers. Y'all know how I feel. Truth seekers, we're really the true leaders. Keep it grooving, the movement like two-seaters. Turn it up, we're knocking through both speakers. It's time we get the truth from the big secret keepers. Hey, truth seekers, we're really the true leaders. Keep it grooving, the movement like two-seaters. Turn it up, we knocking through both speakers. It's time we get the truth from the big secret keepers. Hey, why the big secret?
Why did Ruby shoot Oswald? Was there a conspiracy?
In a world shrouded in darkness and obscured by deception from the big secret keepers, a burning question ignites in the hearts and minds of truth seekers. Why? Let's dive into the abyss of the unknown. Challenge the limits of our understanding.
This bizarre sequence of double killings raised great questions. Who actually fired the shot that killed Kennedy?
Pierce the veil of secrecy.
Cattle found dead and the manner of their deaths are a real mystery.
Anyone who is concerned about lead in the drinking water in Flint.
And venture into the realm of conspiracies and extraterrestrial evidence.
A huge explosion now, raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
Let us consider the question, why the big secret?
All right, everyone, it is Monday. I want to welcome you to Why the Big Secret. I'm your host, Roderick Martin, and today we're going to have a great conversation. We're going to go into some things that I think is probably a great conversation about food, right? Why not? It's probably one of my favorite things to talk about is food. Okay, all right, it shouldn't be, but it is, but not this kind of food. And we're going to talk about what's recently been happening, but also have already been implemented a long time ago. And this is the fact that we're going to have lab-grown food. Now, the fact of the matter is, it's food, right? Okay. And so at this point, you know, are you going to eat it? That would be the question that I would ask everyone in the chat. So we will definitely do that. Also, anyone that's in the chat that has the green text and also the little icon, those of our channel members. If you don't have one, you should be one. And because at the end of the day, it is all part and, you know, as far as supporting the channel. And even though our channel memberships are all different levels, but you can start anywhere from, I think, 9 cents a day, which is $3 a month. And I say this wholeheartedly and I say it proudly. I know that I bring enough value that you not only want this information as we grow our community, but you, the ones who have not subscribed, even at that level. Now, don't get me wrong. I know times are different, but if it's not and you haven't, shame on you. Shame on you. Come on, support the channel. And I got a link there, and we're talking $3, right? Okay, come on. But there is $6. There's more memberships, and I'm not just trying to promote the lowest one, but any and all things help. We're working somewhere here. All right, so I'm excited, man. I'm excited to have this conversation about this lab meat. So let's get into it right now, and let's turn this down and get right into the conversation. I'm not going to do our traditional opening tonight because I had some of that lab meat, a grown or whatever, lab grown meat, and I don't have the energy from it. No, I'm just kidding. I have not tried it, but it's probably the same stuff that we see the plant-based meat, right? You know, all of this stuff that be young. In fact, I got a couple of pictures on that deal, but you know, what about this stuff right here? We got it in the stores already. Beyond Burger, plant-based burgers. So is that not lab type? Or, you know, now of course I know we're talking about something different for something to be made in the lab as opposed to everything else. So let's get right into that conversation, and we'll talk about it pretty much. And let me give a shout out in the chat real quick. And anyone who comes a new member, you're going to definitely at some point get a shout out. So we want to do that, and we want to encourage this to be right across the board. All right, so let me give a shout out quickly. First, let me give a shout out to our members first. We got Magneticus is a member, Laura's is a member, Wolfman 10 is 510 is a member. Judith is a member. Seagray is a member. Lynn is a member. Girl from the Bay is a member. Diana, the godmother of the Why the Big Secret channel, is a member. Body Electric Supplement is a member. D is a member. April, Summer, and let's see, we already said that. So yeah, so all of those are members. Kia is here with us as well. And who else? So anyway, and the non-members would be Melanated Brown. Let me give a shout out to you for being here. We got Beginning Mason is here with us. Sonia is here with us. And Retha is here. Tamara is here with us. Razila is here with us. And Daniel. And let me see anyone else. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so all right, so we have a couple of more people there, and yeah. So anyway, let me do that, and let me put some things on top of the screen here for our supportership, and if you want to support the channel as well. All right, so let's get into it. I'm ready. All right, so basically, I'm going to go over a few things that we're going to talk about tonight with this lab-grown meat. I'm going to give a little backstories, a little bit about it. We're going to talk about some of the way it's processed, or how did they get to this point A to point B. And we're going to also discuss some of the social implications of this meat. What would it mean to like the market itself, human consumption? And then we're going to speculate why. You know, of course, this is what we're here for with Why the Big Secret, is to go through our tagline is to unlock, and then we're going to unveil, and then we're going to unleash. So we're going to unlock some of this information, and we're going to unveil some things that's underneath it. And then at the end of the show, we're going to unleash the knowledge that we have and what we can do with this as a collective community when it comes down to what is happening with the big secret keepers and going over this. And so I think rightfully so, you got to think about why would they want to make this meat. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine, Tato, today. And so basically, you know, it's more or less, I gave my speculation of what I think it is and why. And so I'm going to throw that out there into the hat tonight, and then you all can decide that for yourself. And then we can kind of go from there and do that. So, all right, let's do it. Let's talk about it right now. So first of all, let's go into what exactly is this lab grown meat. It's genetically engineered product that uses biotechnology. So what it says, it's also known as a cultivated or cultured meat. Now, this is all coming from Life Science. So I'm just going through a few quick bullet points, and most of you probably have already done what you know. And so we're going to be doing that right now and pretty much. And so, you know, basically at the end of the day, this is, you know, we're going somewhere with this, right? We're going somewhere. Now, it's saying that the first piece Well, let's back up. Lab-grown meat is real meat. So they're saying it's real meat that's grown directly from animal cells without the need to raise and slaughter the animals. Now, don't get me wrong. There's people already saying, oh, it's better for the animals. Really? Really? I got some facts here, and we'll go over it in a little bit, that we probably slaughter more than 80 or something billion chickens a month. And really, the chickens care. We're going to now, well, it probably is. We saw Chick-fil-A with their particular commercials back in the day, eat more chicken, the cows, right? Now what they're going to say, that makes you wonder. But anyway, it's supposed to be real cultured meat. Now, for them to use the fact that it's real meat grown from directly from the animal cells without the need to raise and slaughter the animals. How many people is going to buy into that? How many people like yourself who's going to root for the lab-grown meat because we're rooting for the cow, we're rooting for the pig, we're rooting for the chickens and the ducks or whatever it is that we saying, do we understand what they go through? So now I do understand, and I might not even say this correctly, but there's supposed to be some kind of transfer of energy if you're eating an animal that has been really raised in a harsh environment, and then all of a sudden it's into its cells and energy, and then we consume it. What the heck will we eat when it comes down to something that's grown in a lab? All right, so what I'm going to do, let's set the tone for the show, though. Let's set it to a point to where it gives us a little reference point to what is happening here. And we'll do this again later as more people come on. But let me set it up right now. It's going to take a couple of minutes. Check this out right now.
Shit be real shit, because these motherfuckers are attacking real shit at every motherfucking angle. They had a story on CNN 3 weeks ago that said the USDA has approved the sale of clone meat to the American public. What? See, I was high when I originally saw the story. So I waited all the way till I came down to relook at the story, and it still fucking said the USDA has approved the sale of clone meat to the American public. Ain't that about a god? You raggedy motherfuckers would feed. You gonna feed? We saw the movie Multiplicity. We know what the fuck clone mean, motherfucker. It mean retarded. You gonna feed us the retarded ass clone cow meat now? And I thought niggas was gonna tear up the streets and riot and shit, and nothing fucking happened. These motherfuckers, you gonna feed America the clone? Ain't it motherfuckers starving in other countries that we could have gave the goddamn retarded clone meat to first? To see if that was gonna work out? They ain't got shit to eat. They don't give a fuck. You can't feed it to us first, you motherfuckers. And some of you same niggas gonna be eating the shit out that goddamn clone meat and talking shit about, nigga, fuck that, nigga. The clone meat is delicious, nigga. They put the garlic in the cow as a baby, nigga. You ain't even gotta season it. It just already grow up garlicky and delicious, nigga. They don't give a fuck about us. You know the clone meat gonna be cheap as shit. Nigga, fuck that. I went to McDonald's, got the McClone combo for 19 cents, nigga. Had 11 big-ass Big Macs in it. It was wonderful. That's all right. That's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Feed your baby the retarded-ass clone cow meat and see what the fuck happened. You gonna be wondering why your daughter's 4 years old, weighs 611 pounds, got a little horn coming out her motherfucking braids, and the bitch can't do her alphabet correctly. Just A, B, C, D, Did you fed that bitch the retarded-ass cow meat? These motherfuckers don't give a fuck.
And that thing was done in 2018, y'all. That was done in 2018. So we're talking 5 or 6 years ago, talking about this thing. So that you can't get no funnier than that. Anyway, the production process of lab-grown meat is similar to brewing beer. It has evolved into an industrial cell culture process based on fermentation and then technology that's going to be that they use for the same thing, right? So, however, instead of growing yeast or bacteria, animal cells are grown. And once again, this is also sourced at the Live Science magazine. Now, a small number of these cells are taken from a high-quality livestock animal. All right, so that's against what Kat was just saying. He's saying you're going to get the one that's retarded, but they're saying that we're going to take the ones from a high-quality livestock animal. Who knows if it's high quality? How would we even know, right? So that's one of those points. And all right, so we got 444 sent to us right now, and so that is going to be the beginning of tonight's sponsor. So let me put that here, and thank you. The greatness of Tato done this. So we got 444. Let me make sure I put it on screen. Y'all know this is how we fundraise, so do not. If you got a problem with me giving kudos to people supporting the show, go to bed. Oh, that is a big number. Hold on. Let me change it to the actual number. All right, so give a shout out to the greatness of Tato being our show sponsor at $4.44. Appreciate it. All right, so and if you want to, there it is up the top. Cash App is probably the most best way to do it when you're going to do it. So tonight's sponsor right there, 444. If you want to be tonight's sponsor, just a little bit more than that, and you will take the leading board of that. But use the Cash App up here. All right. So anyway, so like Cat Williams just said, they're gonna, give us the worst of the worst, right? And so if you think about that, that's something that we would have to consider in conversation to be like, what's really happening when it comes down to this? But it's happening, folks. And are saying that lab-grown meat has the potential for a much higher yield from a single animal. So at this point, it's manufacturing, right? They're saying that we can get more from the cow if we do this particular procedure as opposed to breeding them, cutting them up, and doing the stuff that we have. So, all right, there we go. And so that's one of the things that we would have to really think about. But really, are we really? First of all, are any of you going to eat it? Now, you might be saying it right now, but would this price be a little cheaper? We'll get into that in just a few moments, the implication for the social side of things. But would any of you would eat that, right? Come on, let me know if you would eat it, pretty much. All right, so those are one of the things that I would be like, okay, what's really happening once you get down to that point? But let me put it in the chat. Would you eat it? And then we'd have to know. I want to know what would you do when it gets down to that. So at this point, what would you do? All right, so we have a new show sponsor. Hit the Cash App. Let's give a shout out to the greatness of, there we go, Judith, and it's 1111. All right, so we went from 44 to 1111. Appreciate it. And that came through the Cash App right up above. So that's how we want to receive. And it all support the show. So like I said, it's definitely a great way to do it. All right, so let's get into how would the FDA at this point approve such a thing? How would they approve such a thing when it comes down to when, we're going to do some lab grown meat? So it starts with an emergent area of food science that involves taking a small number of cells from living animals, growing them into a controlled environment to create food made from cultured cells. The FDA supposedly is closely coordinating with the United States Department of Agriculture, Food and Safety and Inspection to ensure that the lab-grown meat products are safe and accurately labeled. All right. The process involves several steps. So let me just kind of throw this out here. First, the manufacturers start with a sample of the cells from the animal tissue. All right. So it's going to look something a little bit like this. So let's kind of go there. So it's going to start with the cell from the animal's tissue. Then a small number of the cells are taken from a cell bank, and then they're going to be placed into a controlled environment that supports the growth and then cellular multiplication by supplying appropriate nutrients and other factors. It's kind of similar to what Kat was just saying, how they can probably just put the garlic already in there. And so at this point, now the small cell, after the cells has multiplied into billions and trillions of cells, additionally substances are added to the environment to enable the cells to differentiate into various cell types and assume characteristics of muscle, fat, and connective tissue. And once they've gone through that, until the desired type, the cellular material is harvested, prepared using conventional food processing and packing methods. Wow. Okay. So at this point, they got a system for this thing, folks. They have a real true system that they're going through to use this. So let me kind of check out the chat a little bit, put up some of the members one at a time here. Summer says, can I answer the question in 20 years? Laughed out loud. No, you probably would. In 20 years, you'll be on it. Magnetica says, who got 2323? All right, that'll be. All right, who wants to sponsor the show for 2323? All right. And let's see who else. Sherry says, she says, weird. You know, they're growing animals. They're basically admitted that they are lab growing flesh, same as human flesh. They probably could be already at that point, right? Who knows? Well, we know, right? We truth seekers, we kind of know what's going on from that. But later on in the show, we're going to get down into some of this deep stuff. But here's the deal. The FDA jointly regulates the human food made from cultured animals, and supposedly they oversee the collection of it. They supposedly oversee the sales banks. They supposedly oversee the cell growth. Now, we already know how many shows have we seen where the FDA says they're understaffed. They don't have to go to all these inspection plants and all. So what makes us think that they're overseeing the operations of this kind of stuff, right? Probably not at all. And there's other reasons they're doing it, but at the same time, like I was telling y'all before, the how is never as important as why. Okay. Now we would assume that we're all inundated with how they are doing this. They're taking animal cells and we're focusing on that. I think we need to be really thinking about why is this happening? Okay. Not from the reasons that we're hearing, not because it's going to save the freaking animals from trauma. All right. Why is this happening? Is it some test, some kind? I don't know. Is it preparation for some things? I think so. And I'll share my mindset on that a little later here. But it also says that their approach is to regulating products derived from cultured cells that involve thorough pre-market consultation and inspections of records and facilities. This process is intended to support the innovation of food technologies while ensuring production of safe food. The FDA voluntary pre-market consultation process evaluates the safety of food made from cultured cells before it enters the market. Now, this is on November the 16th, 2022. The FDA completed its first pre-market consultation for human food made in animal cells. Now, I don't remember eating that kind of stuff, right? And they are saying that at some point, they have already tested the market. We have already supposedly see things like this out in the marketplace. And although the headlines is chicken, maybe they've already done it with beef, lab grown meat, beef. And it's got a cow, it's sitting there, and it's just saying it's lab meat. So this is the actual label that's sitting out here. And, lab grown meat. Have any of you seen this in the store already? Anywhere? Let me know. I really want to know what store. And I'm not saying I'm going to go do a taste test, but have any one of you seen this situation before? So I think that's something that we need to really look into and try to go into. Now, one of the things that I also decided to kind of think about is what would be the environmental implications of lab grown meat. All right, so there'll probably be some good points. We're going to go over that, and then we're going to open up some dialogue here in a little bit, y'all. So get ready, because I'm going to go on the soapbox. But the whole point is it's supposedly to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. This is part of their salesmanship. Culture meat production has the potential to significantly lower greenhouse gas emissions compared to traditional livestock farming, and livestock is a major source of methane, a potent greenhouse gas, and by reducing the number of livestock, we can reduce emissions. Really? All right, so, okay, we're doing this because the next thing they're going to be saying is that there are people walking this planet like me and you that are giving out too much CO2 when we exhale air, and that we need to turn around and somehow change all of this stuff, right? This is crazy. All right. So the other thing is lower land, right? and water usage. Lab-grown meat requires less land and water compared to raising livestock. This could help alleviate the pressure on natural resources and contribute to the conservation of forests and biodiversity. Really, y'all hear what they're going to be saying. They're saying that the reason for this, the why, is that it lowers the land and water usage because of these cows. All right, so I got some facts. We can go over it a little bit. I mean, we do consume, when it comes down to, I put some notes here, when it comes down to pork, and I even get to the cows that, even the biggest countries here in the U.S., we, in 2022, we consumed over 780 million pigs last year. 700, and that was an increase from 750 the year before. More people eating pork than anything. Pork is the new white meat, right? They said that. In 2022, it's crazy. And I ain't gonna tell you how many chickens and billions. So are they trying to say we're gonna cut back on all of that? Let me look here from one of our members. Says, many school lunches are subsidized by food factories and they are making the meats for the kids. All right. I get it. I'm with it. I'm with it 100% and everything else. All right. If you have not had an opportunity to support the channel as a membership, the link is right there. Click it and it's going to pop up and it's going to tell us, the world, that we have a new member and that member is you. And we're going to all give you a shout out. So please, we want at least 10 new members tonight. Okay. 10 new members. And if you're not there yet, like I said, just get your Curious Mind membership. And there's some more video content that'll be behind the members wall in a few days that we cannot put out here. Okay. So there you have it. Decrease deforestation. All right. So they're saying that traditional livestock farming often involves in other words, deforestation, okay, and to create pastures. I didn't know that they cut down forests to create pastures. I didn't know that. So with cultured meat, the need for such large-scale farming decreases, which can contribute to the reduction of the forest's rates and preservation of the ecosystem. So once again, they're going to sell it. They're going to sell that it is to save the world to use lab-grown meat. And I would ask y'all right now, I know some of you are animal lovers in here and everything else. So what do you think about that, though? Maybe it will save another 300 million pigs and cows and a billion chickens to do lab meat. Are y'all down with that? Are some of you in tune with the fact of how these animals are treated for food consumption? Because here's the point I want to make to you. If I was the cow and you going to tell me, and you're going to walk in and you're going to say, hey, Roderick the cow, I understand this is harsh environment. We're going to put you over here with some golden slippers and we're going to fatten you up in a month of, about 6 months. And then we're going to slaughter you with pride. Do you think the cow is saying, do I give a darn about what conditions, either way, the end result, you're going to eat me? Why are we so concerned with that? Why are you concerned with that? Why anybody's concerned with the fact that the cow is being mistreated prior to going down the assembly line, that he's going to end up the same way as the other cow? Do you think the cow really gives a darn? And sitting here going like, oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, please, let me kick my foot up. I mean, you're going to give me a better environment to kill me, to slaughter me. You know what I'm saying? Why do we care about that? Why will we care? The cow is going to be like, I'm out of here one way or the other. It doesn't matter, And so I don't get that part to where we as the people are concerned with the humane, treatment of the animals. Now, I'm not with the treatment of the animals. Let me clarify that. I'm not with the treatment of how they treat them. I'm saying, do you think the cow cares? When he looks down the end of the barrel down there, there's a blade that's going to push him in the head. And do he care? It's kind of like my cousin Vinny. You ever seen the movie? Yeah, I always talk about movies, but where he was talking about the deer And he was talking about, do the deer care about what kind of pants you was wearing when you blew its brain? But all right, so here's the deal. Control production. No, sustainable protein source. Get this one. As the global population grows, there is an increasing demand for protein sources. Lab-grown meat can be more sustainable and alternative to fulfill this demand without the significance of environmental toll of expanding traditional animal agriculture. Really? They're going to say that we're running out of protein. Okay, we're running low on protein. So we're running low on water. We know we're running low on land, supposedly, and livestock and all of this is going to change this. Man, this is something off the charts. Potential challenges and uncertainty. So while lab-grown meat holds promise, it's important to recognize that scaling up production might bring its own environmental challenges. For example, the energy requirements of producing cultured meat at a large scale are not yet fully understood and may offset the other environmental benefits. All right, so now they're already saying we don't even know. Now, if we are moving to a point where somebody's going to teach us some free energy. Now, I will say this. Listen to me closely. Being a UFO investigator and everything else, all right, here we go. Let's put this up here. They grow skin in the labs, human grafting, been done for years. Does the FDA have to label that meat? Slaughtered animals. I know, Judith, right? Ain't that crazy? That's crazy. Pretty much from there. I mean, that's crazy. So I'm with you on that. I'm with you 100%. Let's give Judith a applause for the super chat. All right, thank you. And Judith is already the sponsor of today's show, as you can see, 1111. If you want to be the sponsor of the show, this is how we do our fundraising here as well. So please do not hesitate to use the Cash App up here at the top. And then when it comes across the screen, and then we will then put your name up there. But you can give at any amount, okay? But if you want to be the sponsor, it'll be more in the 1111, okay? All right, so here's another question, though. And once again, we're trying to grow our membership at least 10 people, and pretty much. So, and next week, we have a big guest coming, and we're going to do a private live stream. So it's going to be private, members only. On purpose. It's on purpose, just to see what happens here. All right, so here's another one. Public perception and market adoption. That the environmental benefits can be realized in lab-grown meat is adopted on a large scale, but public perception, taste, and pricing will play a significant role in whether cultured meat can effectively replace the portion of traditional meat. Now, we already seen what Cat Williams was talking about. But, okay, being a UFO investigator, let me get back to what I was going to say there. Oftentimes, we hear stories that even like the one, remember the one that failed in Vegas, right? Well, all of a sudden, we're hearing these stories that sometimes they don't even have mouth, right? Or they have little bitty mouth. So obviously, they're not eating food or the way we do it. So could we be evolving into a species that don't really have to need the food that we're consuming, and the aliens have already figured it out? Is that possible? And do that as well. So we can definitely find that out. We got a, let me have that one. I'm sorry. We got a new member. So y'all give right there. We got a new member. Tamara's in the house. Welcome. All right. We got a new member. 9 more. We need 9 more today, y'all. 9 more members. If you want to be part of that. So Tamara, thank you for doing that. All right. So you remember, like I said, the stories we hear, we don't hear that aliens have some mouth or they real skinny. You ain't never seen a big fat one, right? Or a beast one or all of that. So could they know something we don't know, that maybe we're evolving into a point where, raising cows and animals and all that stuff is probably pointless at some point? I don't know. We can find out from there, but I think it's something for us to look at and really understand when it comes down to that. And I don't know, I'm willing to at least consider what's happening in that particular arena. The other part is regulatory oversight and environmental impact and assessments. As the production of lab-grown meat progresses, thorough environmental impact assessments and regulatory oversights are necessary to ensure the production is truly sustainable. So I guess at this point, they're sitting here saying, okay, maybe there's going to be a pricing war, right, with this thing, and maybe at some point. But I feel bad as we get into the economic industry of this, because you got to think about what's going to happen. But they're supposed to have some great stuff. They're saying that it's supposed to be new market opportunities. The emergence of lab-grown meat creates new market opportunities for startups, established companies to innovate in other alternative products to traditional meat. All right, we're just talking about it, but in a few minutes, we're going to have to go deep. We're going to go deep. Job creation in the biotech sector. All right, so as cultured meat production grows, there are potential for job creation. And how many jobs could it really create, right? And these jobs will be different from traditional farming and may require a different set of skills. I promise you the skills that's going to be working in his lab is going to be robotic. AI is going to be doing that, right? And they're talking about impact on traditional meat producers. The rise of lab-grown meat may pose a challenge to traditional meat producers as consumers' preferences shift. This could be impact revenue and force some of the producers to diversify or adapt their business model. How do a farm who raises cattle diversify their business model to go to lab-grown meat? What do they do with all the cows, right? Let them roam free, stop producing them? Or now we got an overabundance. Now, it could be a supply and demand situation. We could have a meat war. We could have the meat companies now, because, meat is high at the store. I mean, it's like a grand theft. And maybe they change their ways and start saying, okay, we got to compete with this thing. And now let's alter the prices. Let's force them to keep eating the beef. Where's the beef, right? They're like, we're going to force them through the prices. And so therefore, that's something they're going to be doing. So that's something for us to think about. Would we now benefit from it as consumers? The fact that there's going to be a war between this lab-grown chicken versus this regular chicken that's grown, because we already got organic farmers and people out there, but like, oh, we raise this on the land. It's grain, whatever, non-GMO, all of this stuff. Now they can care less. But one thing that we have not heard, and let me put this on the screen here. And if anybody have, let me know. We have not heard the box up at the top left. We haven't heard nothing about health on this thing. If it's nutritionists or if it's any of that stuff. We just keep hearing it's good for the animals and it's good for the environment. Now, and that's a concern, right? That is a true concern, that the message is it's good for the animals and it's good for the environment. And I'm glad you asked me why. Because we always hear about these conspiracies of culling the population, right? So, and because we're destroying the environment. So if they turn around and produce products that is not good for us, but in turn, it's good for the animals, and then all of a sudden it's good for the environment, but for us, nutrition-wise, it's not giving us enough nutrition. Now, that means they're going to start spiking it. Now you're going to have chicken that's already have whatever process in it. It's got all vitamin minerals built into the flavor. That the whole implication is endless of what they're going to do and what they possibly want to do when it comes down to our food, right? And I know there's a lot of technical science behind these things, but at the end of the day, I have not yet seen, and if y'all have, put it into the chat, where people are talking about how healthy it is for the human consumption as opposed to what it's doing to save the animals and save the planet. Because at this point, I'm only here for another, 100 years, or all of us, 50, 100 years. Yeah, okay, I do care about what happens to the planet. So, but I don't want to, go out because I'm eating some lab-grown food, right? It's crazy enough. All right, so another part of this is supply chains transformation. The supply chains for lab-grown meat is different supposedly different from traditional meat there will be the need for the infrastructure and all that. Okay, they talking about jobs. We already know AI is going to change that, and pretty much. And speaking of AI is going to change that. For those of you that signed up for the YouTube storytelling course, mastering that, I want to thank you. Some of you are going to be really launching some great things if you're going to be becoming content creators. And like I said before, to most of you, there's a lot of people that's going to be out of work from this AI. And I'm not kidding. I'm trying to be honest, and I'm sure you're hearing about it. I'm not trying to scare you. But if you got a message or you have the inkling inside yourself that you might want to start a podcast, video podcast, YouTube, or whatever, AI will never replace content creators. They can have some deep fake. They're not going to replace what I do. It can enhance what I'm doing, but it's not going to replace me sitting here talking to you. And so for those of you at some point, if you have an aspiration of that, now is the time for you to move in that direction. So go to makeYouTubeMoney.com and, you can get some free tidbits there or take advantage because today it's half off and it's only going to be there for the next few days. And then I'm going to start running some other ads for it. But I definitely want my community, if you're there, definitely go there, makeYouTubeMoney.com and sign up. I'm telling you, don't sit on that. Don't sit on it. Because I'm giving you some techniques that you're not going to hear anywhere else unless you're working with TV producers. And that is something that not everybody will be doing. Investment in alternative proteins. We said that already. But they're also talking about cost reduction and price competitiveness. Initially, lab-grown meat has been expensive to produce, but as technology advances, costs are expected to decrease. And then those could make this meat price be more competitive. I don't know if I care that the same price for lab-grown chicken is the same price for farm, manufactured chicken. And I ain't say raised, manufactured chicken, right? I don't think I care if it's a pricing war, right? They're already talking about the flavor could be a little different and maybe it's not as robust as chicken, but the fact that it's chicken. So once again, why would the chicken over here not be as robust and it's both the same chicken? All right, well, maybe because the other chicken builds its meat off of muscles, and I don't know what's happening. So I'm just saying, here we go. All right, so I think I did hear some scientists saying that lab-grown meat is cleaner and free of chemicals used in the animals in mass production. Really, though? Because we really don't know if they're saying it now, but if they can just inject anything in the process, whoa. All right. So we know at least they're, doing the cows though, but I hear you. I mean, I get what you're saying, but really, do you really think that wouldn't be it? All right. So the government, let's give a shout out for the support first. All right. Thank you, Daniel. All right. So he's saying that the government will subsidize the meat just like they did with the wheat, sugar, soy, making it a staple of low-income household. Well, one thing's for certain, and Daniel, thank you once again for that. You ought to get a membership, Daniel. It's $3. You could have, but I appreciate this though. I appreciate the $4.99. Anyway, anybody haven't got their membership, there's a link right there. We need 9 more people tonight, and then our show sponsor is 1111 at Judah. If you want to contribute right there and become the new show sponsor, and maybe you got a business, maybe you got something we'll call out. If you do so, let's do that. All right. So, y'all give Daniel a shout out for sure. But yeah, maybe they can stick stuff in there, and pretty much. Sarah says, I still don't buy that, but I guess in the way that they said it was healthy. I don't know about that. I don't buy it either. I get what you're saying. I think it's crazy. Summer says, how is that cell growing juice, going to affect my body over time? I'm a small person and my heart started to grow, my stomach. I don't know. Well, I mean, okay. I can't tell you it's going to be the best thing for that, but it's pretty much. Magnetica said $11.99 plus $9.99 is how much, y'all? Somebody give the answer to that one. Lynn says, if we learn anything in the past 3 years, it's not to believe anything the government says. Let's not go backwards. I don't think it has nothing to do with the government. I really don't. I don't really think, as we start looking forward these days, that the big secret keepers are behind the fact that the FDA and them, these are innovators. These are people who are coming up with this stuff, right? These are multinational companies and all of this of technology that they're trying to introduce into the public for some reason, right? So I wouldn't normally say that the government per se is saying, hey, you guys need to produce some, lab growing meat, right? I don't know. But I do say, Houston, we got a problem. And we got a big problem from there. And I think that's something that we need to do. The answer is 2110. Magneticus is what Judith says there. All right. So Mark Eddy, what's going on? We did learn that the VABs product. Yeah, we do know that. All right. So once again, we're going to look into the next part of this. They're talking about rural economies and livelihood, that traditional livestock farming is often central to rural economies, and the shift to lab-grown meat may have a socioeconomic implications for rural communities that rely heavily on livestock. I don't think they care. I don't think they care. The whoever's behind this, big secret keepers. Now, remember, that could be government, could be religious institutions. It could be. I don't think they care. By all means, what the financial implications are from a global economy. In fact, let's get into some of that real quick here, just to give you some numbers. The United States produce approximately, listen to me, y'all. The United States produce 27 billion pounds of pork. Globally, the pork consumption varies from countries, but in 2021, China was the largest consumer of pork with approximately 61 kilograms per inhabitant consumed, and then Hong Kong and all this. It was expected that the pork consumption in China would increase 4.1% in 2022, reaching a huge. Now they're saying that, but here in the U.S., we did over 780 million pigs worldwide in 1 year. That's a lot of freaking hogs. 780 million pigs a year. I didn't even know that was that big. And I can't even tell you. I am going to tell you, but you're going to be blown away from the number of how many chickens, right? So we're talking about 780 million. So why is that? So let's get into some part of this conversation where we now just kind of have to open up a can of worms for all of us, because at this point now, it is obvious that there is a plan, okay? And there's going to be a plan in what they're trying to accomplish, and then we'll get back into some more of these notes in a few minutes. So let's do this right now. Let's get down into this part of the conversation. All right, so I'm thinking, my thoughts was we are going to space. And if we're moving to space, civilization, people going to, living on asteroids and planets and all of this stuff. Obviously, you're not going, or we didn't see any cows on Star Trek. We didn't see the cows on the Enterprise, right? Battlestar Galactica, all those old movies. We didn't see any cows. And then, okay, we may still have the military food, which is probably, whatever. They're probably getting feedback that don't taste worth nothing. Maybe they're preparing to know that if we're going to go anywhere, they need to take, cows somewhere else. All right. So, let me see. We got to text some information here. Let's see what we got here. China's bid to improve food production. Giant towers of what? Of pigs. Really? All right. So let's see what the New York Times says here. All right. Oh, I can't even see it. I'm not a member of the New York Times. Man. All right. They won't show the article, Rainbow. They're saying nope. Yeah. Anyway, can't see that one. But maybe because we're going to space. Maybe because we're heading to space, and that could be the reason to what we're doing when it comes down to this. And so this is what I would tie it into the UFO thing, because, okay, maybe they're trying to, knowing that we're going to be heading to space, we're not going to take 1 million cows on those spacecraft. That's not going to happen. Where they're going to, if they're already emitting methane and all of this, they're not going to want it out there in space. So maybe that's the other plan. And we just can't stop it. We can't stop where this technology is going. We can't stop where it's heading. And we're going to have to deal with it. 15, 20 years from now, maybe lab grown meat is going to be all that's out there. Then what do we eat? Other people? Maybe, and then everybody be chasing me down. Shoot. Yeah. All you skinny folks are going to be good. So we need all of us folks that's fluffy. We need to go on and get ready, because we're going to be some prime targets. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. Y'all gonna be like, we got to eat them. Man, that's some scary stuff, though. I'm not for sure what that's happening with that. But anyway, I don't know. We could look into. We can go into some of the health concerns about this stuff, and some of consumers may have concerns about the health implications of consuming lab-grown meat. They may question whether it's nutritious as traditional meat, which we don't think that is these days anyway. So let's think about it. Put in the chat, what are things that they're already changing right now, right? What are things that they are changing already that we're eating, and pretty much from there. All right, so they're saying China's 26-story pig skyscraper is ready to slaughter 1 million pigs a year. Okay, so that's one skyscraper. The world's biggest single building pig farm has opened in province, and the critics say it will increase the risk. Oh my God. I mean, they're already doing this thing. All right. So Daniel is a new member. All right, Daniel, y'all give him a shout out. Give him a shout out in the chat, please. Welcome, Daniel. 8 more. So we get 8 more members tonight. We're going to reach our goal. So if you're watching, the membership is there. You can join at any level from $3 on up and support the channel. I'm saying, we know we value that. In 8 people, that's it. We started with a goal of 10, so we have 2, and that will be Tamara, which is there, and then we have Daniel is there. So definitely both of them have helped us to reach our goal and going closer to what we're doing. So anyway, man, so this article says that, and thank you, Rainbow Light. The article says a skyscraper size farm is what it is, being production October. And it's actually a newcomer to the, now China, we already know why they would do such a thing like that. We know they're in a land shortage, right? And so more likely they would probably not, they would need to build facilities like that that's going to go up instead of outward, right? But they don't have like we hear in Texas and all these other states where we got eons of acres sitting out there. And it's possible that they will see that. But the fact that they're going to build a, man, it's crazy. And they're saying that this one can do 1 million pigs a year, just one little place. That's a lot. That is a lot. All right, so we have a new member. There we go. Yolanda Simpson, thank you. All right, y'all give a shout out for Yolanda. Thank you so much. All right, so that's 3 new members, 7 to go. And if you're going to support our channel, please do and get your membership. The link is somewhere in the descriptions there, and I can post it again. Membership has its privileges, and as you say, Glenn says, happy to be here. Thank you so much for being here with us as well, and everyone else. So if you are a member, y'all give a shout out to the greatness here of Yolanda right now. So please welcome them to the family, the inside family of what we do here. So, and if you are going to become part of membership, make sure y'all do. All right. So anyway, what about All right, so let's get real now. What are the implications? What could they possibly do, and why? Let's go now. I want everybody. We're going to go down this whyology thing. Why on earth? Besides what I was talking about, moving towards space. What's going on, KG? Welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. So why on earth are they creating this food? Why? Why are they doing this? Is one thing I want to know. I mean, here we go. All right. So Yolanda says, love this channel. Thank you. I love all of you supporting what we do here and what I'm doing and all of that. I think it's just an amazing support that we have with our support team and group and all of you supporting from there. So once again, tonight's sponsor of the show is down at the bottom. 1111 is Judith. If you feel that you want to be tonight's sponsor, all you have to do is cash out at the top. 11, 12, whatever, anything over 11, 11, whoever's the next highest person become the sponsor of the show. It's a way that we also do real-time contribution as well. So both sides help side of the fence. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. All right. So let's go. I'm looking, all of the members, at least help me out. So why do y'all think that they're doing this? Everybody give an answer. Your answer to why you think they're making lab-grown meat. And let's talk about it. I'll look in the chat. Let me go. Let me hear it. Do I need to play some Jeopardy music? Dun, 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 whatever. Yeah. So, what do y'all think? Let's look at that right now and see where we're going with that. And so it is, 23. Yeah, there it is. Oh, Judith said 23. Oh, because we're going to add that together. All right. So let's do that because she did give a super chat. I'm $9.99. I am standing freaking corrected right now. So y'all going to have to do right there. All right. Leapfrog, baby. There we go. All right. Appreciate it. Yeah, so Judith is the sponsor. That is so correctly. We add the two together, and now we get 2311. So from 1111 to the what is it? What was it? You gave let me go back. Am I messing that up? So it's $9.89 plus 1111. Maybe I'm not adding right. Yeah. Okay. So what's the number on it? Am I wrong? See, y'all got me thrown out of here now, Judith. So $9.89 and 1111 is $20. Right? Am I right? Or 21? Is it? Yeah, I think it's 21. All right. So, all right, we're just gonna leave that up there though. That may just incentivize somebody to give a little more. So we're gonna leave it. I know 2110 is the answer. So we're gonna leave it up there. Everybody says 2110. And so we'll leave it up there in. All right, let me change it just to be so that nobody was saying, well, yeah, I had $23. All right, so all right, we're gonna do that. I love you guys. I do. There you go, right there. All right, and if I'm wrong, Judith, correct me, please do. All right, so there we go. But anyway, y'all think Judith, yeah, and so. I still don't see y'all, and I'm not seeing anybody saying why. Let me see here. Let me just go down the list. Sarah says using chemicals in the food supply to dumb us down. Okay, all right, we can go with that. Saucer says all the reasons listed in the chat are why I'd say. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go with you on that. Let's see. All right. I didn't see any of my members saying anything else. Oh, there we go. Depopulates is why. Okay. Well, I got you. All right. We love you. We'll take that too. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. And yeah. So, all right. Come on with it. I mean, y'all need to put it in the chat. I know I ain't the only one sitting here just coming up with some stuff. Why do y'all think that this is what's happening? Why, would you eat this stuff? And that'll be another question, but we got to figure out why. We can't focus on how all the time. We got to figure out why so we can do this. Barbara says to gradually change the DNA of future genes. That is worth thinking about, though. It's another way to think about it. Laura says a way to block our spirituality. And D says control is why. All right. And Judith says, yes, 2310, y'all beat my contribution. So she's challenging somebody to Cash App at the top, 2310, to beat her, take her off as a sponsor. She's saying, challenge me right now. So if y'all going to do that, in the meantime, there we go. Judith is the sponsor right there. All right. So let's see. Sherry says, I agree that they're figuring out other ways to dumb us down, and without the correct proteins for our brain, we can't function. But they're saying that we're already running out of protein. And that's something there. All right. So food and medicine are the rulers of control and manipulation. All right. Rainbow Warrior says scientists are predicting Yellowstone to erupt in 2023. We're going to need food. But okay. So with Yellowstone take out everybody, is that pretty big of an explosion, right? I don't know. Maybe it's not from there. The new members challenge. All right. So yeah, new members challenge. We can definitely have one. I would love to. We need 7 more members. 7 more members to reach our goal of 10. And like I said, the lowest membership is $3. And so, all right. So we have, thank you for the support. Daniel says, I am now ranking the top on this thing here. I will now be the sponsor of the show. And let's reveal the greatness and of Daniel being our new show sponsor tonight. And I really, like I said, once again, I just can't keep telling y'all the truth that I really appreciate you, but I do. All right, but I will continue telling the truth. All right, so give a shout out to Daniel. Everybody, give a shout out to Daniel that he did the Cash App, $30. He is the new sponsor of tonight's show. And there we go. So Daniel, thank you for being the sponsor of tonight's show. Yeah, thank you so much. All right, so all right, D said we appreciate you too. Thank you. Diana said probably put the nano. All right, and I'm still begging y'all. Let me show y'all something. Looks like I'm gonna have to make a trip to Toledo. I gotta somehow go up here and get my dog. He's getting bigger. He's waiting on me. He's in Ohio. His name is Zulu. I gotta go pick him up. So I'm gonna probably have to take a road trip some kind of way and go all the way up to Ohio and back. And unless somebody was heading this way. And so we would do that. But anyway, let's continue. Let me go into the chat here and see what we got. New member challenge. Yeah, we would like to have a new member challenge from there. Anyway, there you go. If you want to get your membership, there's the link there. All right. So if we need protein in all of this stuff, couldn't protein just be injected into the cultured meat that they're culturing? Because I'll be shocked to even see how this thing even pops up. I mean, really, I'll be really shocked. There's a new member. All right. Leanne Bridges, thank you so much. All right. We got a new member in the house. Thank you so much. We got a new sponsor in the house, which is Daniel. We got a new member. Now, again, you can always, contribute to the show. You don't have to be the sponsor. Or, you can throw in what you want. But anyway, we got a new member. We got 4. Let's do the challenge. We got 6 more. 6 more to reach our goal tonight, if it's possible. I know it's possible because I can see some of you who are not members yet, and that's cool. All right. So, but anyway, why, once again, that this is being big news? Because it's going to offset a lot of these corporations, right? It's going to make Chick-fil-A really mad unless Chick-fil-A says buying lab cultured meat is going to be cheaper than our suppliers that we have right now. it's going to make a lot of these companies upset because they got to compete with something like this. But once again, what on earth is the big reason for this to be the news? And this is things that we're thinking about doing. And that is something that I think we should at least try to figure out what is happening when it comes down to what we're doing here. Another part of this is part of our conversations tonight. And I know that I'm definitely going to be put up a poll if we want to make sure we continue always talk about the alien, the mysterious stuff. Because I know the other day we had a lot of topics on the 28 topics of things that we can talk about from there. So after this show tonight, I'll see how it goes if we're going to be covering topics like this, as opposed to making sure, regardless, that we stay in our paranormal, the mysteries, unexplained, maybe some true crime and conspiracies for sure. And then, of course, our alien and UFO stuff. So I just thought this was a good conversation to be having. We would do that as well. Anyway, Leanne says, happy to be here. Thank you for being here with us as well. And Magnetica says, depopulate pigs, cows, and chicken. I mean, that's going to be the result. That's going to be the result, that they are going to depopulate the cows, the chickens, the pigs, all of this stuff. Because if it is a silent thing that's happening and we're not really paying attention to, somebody need to do some research on that. One of y'all need to do some research on the methane and all this that these cows are really putting out into the sky. And then we need to really see if there is a red flag that we're missing publicly that they're not talking about, that this needs to be happening. Now, this is not a mass produce or approval that, we're going to have lab grown meat. This is something that's been in the works for quite some time. So I don't think it's a big cabal or collaborative effort that now we're seeing like 20 companies hitting the market. There's just a couple of them, a couple of people that's going to be testing it, and then it's going to go down a road from there. So maybe it's not that big alarm that we need to worry about if these cows are giving off all of this greenhouse stuff, or they're giving out, methane is really causing us issues, and our issues got issues. So we're not hearing that through the food chain stuff. But definitely if they go this route and saying that they can produce, I would just want to see, what would happen. What would happen if, now all of a sudden the price of cattle years from now go up, because now we only have less than 200,000 cows to the 5 billion or millions. And now this is the world or the global supply of cow food sales. And then somebody kidnap a few cows because 15 years ago, we decided to shut down all the cow production because it's just, it's like, so now what do? You buy a cow today and start breeding so you can actually hide your own cow so you can have a Simstels, 15 years from now when the cow population drops. And I mean, it's so much stupidness, but who knows when it comes down to all of that. Sonia World News says she's here with us tonight. They don't want us using shrooms anymore. All right. Daniel says, not all proteins are created equal. The human body synthesizes them differently. Animal proteins benefit from the mitochondria, thus producing ATP. All right. So, okay. And Sarah says, the greenhouse emissions. All right. We're down with that 100%. And it's not as bad as they say. All right. All right. So also said it's extremely important to talk about, brother. You're doing great work. Thank you. Sometimes I don't even think people listen, but you do. You right on point, answering what I asked, and not one other person said anything else about it. But you, my man, appreciate it. All right. That's cool. All right. I'm just whining. I'm whining. All right. So anyway, the other part of this is, once again, they talk about taste, and texture is going to be a critical factor. Critical factor for consuming acceptance would be the taste and texture of lab-grown meat. If it doesn't closely mimic, now see, here's the problem. Right here, it says if it doesn't mimic the traditional meat. Why would they have to use the word mimic? because that tells you it's not authentic in the first place, right? Because it's a mimic. It's trying to mimic. They didn't say if it just doesn't taste like chicken because it's real chicken. They like if it doesn't closely mimic. Now, in order to mimic that, they're going to start putting stuff like sawdust and all kinds of stuff in the chicken to make us feel like we're eating chicken. This is crazy. And ain't nobody standing up to it. Ain't nobody protesting. Ain't nobody saying no, no, no. We're just sitting here looking with our eyes, in the window, window shopping this thing. And we should be out there right now saying, hey, we're not down for that. Shut that down. Because what someone said earlier, we could possibly be next. We could possibly be in the mix already. And now they're talking about, okay. And remember, they used a different word. And this is my concern. Maybe y'all can help me with this. Is the word cloning different from lab grown? So it wouldn't be cloning, right? So because cloning had a bad, rap on it. So somebody look that up. Somebody help me out. Look it up and see if cloning is worse than or the same as lab grown. Are they still cloning the animals? But yet they don't want to put that out there and use the word clone grown meat. Then we ain't down for that, right? Because they already knew that the consensus said don't use the word cloning. I'm not for sure what would be happening with that though. Laura says McDonald's is on it. Those Big Macs aren't the same. They're definitely not the same when I was eating them when I was a kid. Boy, we used to go, my dad used to take us to McDonald's every Friday. And we looked forward to it on Fridays because it was like a holiday. We're going to McDonald's and the Big Mac was that big and that tall. Now, please. Charlton said tricking on wordplay. Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Are we talking about cloning though? And that's one of the things there. So we need to look at that from there. Dinah says, oh, yeah, cows. Yeah, cows my brother used to get out and the mushrooms from cow patties. Really? Huh. All right. Well, I didn't know that's where that comes from. Wolfman says sound the same. They just renamed it. Yeah. And that's one of the things that you would think about. Did they rename this to be like, all right, we can't say the word clone. We got to put out that lab grown. And you know what I really want to see is you take a cell, you put it in there, and it lab grows. So does this thing just grow? Okay. And then my next point is it alive? Right? Is it alive? When you poke it, does it feel it? Right? When you poke this piece of meat, do it feels, or is it alive? If it's alive, then it's alive. Are we still slaughtering them too, right? When we cut it, does it bleed? Does it know? It doesn't have a heart, so without that, what happens? These are all questions that I will want to know. So what does it look like? How does it grow? How big does it get? And then does it start growing? Because nature has a way. Does it start growing arms and legs regardless? It's in the cells. It want to survive. What happens is one of these pieces of meat have an eyeball sticking out on it. Do you still slaughter it? Now it's an anomaly. And then all of a sudden, they're growing new one-eyed, food to see what happens, to see if we can get a second eye. And now we're starting the human evolution all over again. We're trying to grow the cow back from the cell. I'm just throwing this out there. I'm throwing it out there. All right, let's give another. All right. Geo Compass in the house. Y'all make sure y'all check out his YouTube channel as well. And we have 5 new members. If we can reach our goal, we get 5 more members tonight. We want 10. That'll be good. Also, Daniel is the sponsor of tonight's show. Y'all give a shout out there if anybody want to top him off. Judith was the reigning supreme there, and then it started out with Sarah earlier, and then we had a couple other ones. But now at this point, Daniel is the sponsor of the show. And then Geo Compass is one of our newest members. And if you want to become a member, I'm going to keep putting the link in the chats, and you can do that. So once again, though, but what happens, though? I'm saying what happens. So are we not going to, and that's the question I'll ask anyhow. So is this, y'all welcome GeoCompass to the members area and everything else. All our members, your chats, messages, the ones that I can see quickly enough, is going to be highlighted at the top of the screen here, because you remember lab grown doesn't require genetic manipulation. Well, I mean, okay, so I get what you're saying, Barbara, but what would it look like, right? Okay, so if it's a cell, they take the right cell and then it grows, but is it alive? And is it being fed? And if it's not being fed, does it die? So it's alive. So would it be now a cow without a heart, a cow without ears, nose, a soul? Does lab grow? We know animals have a soul. Nobody's talking about that. That's a question. Maybe y'all can answer that. Does lab grown meat have a soul? Is it alive? Am I really going too far? Am I questioning, the why in this thing? Or do they figure it's not alive and that's why people are okay with it, because it's not torching the animals? They're not going to die. They're not alive, but it's a cell. It has to be alive to grow. So does it now have a soul like the cow did before it went to its fate, then everything else? Somebody answer that question. Come on with it. Don't leave me out, you scholars, my members. All right. So Lynn, just curious. He says, I have a curious question. How did the ancient Lemurians and Atlanteans eat? I don't know. They ate something. GeoCompass says, look in the codex. All right. We'll look into that. Daniel says alfalfa is the number one GMO. It's fed to the cows. It changes the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio into the meals. LGMs would most likely be the worst in many other ways. I don't know what the LGMs is, so you put that out there for us, buddy. That'll be cool. And then sounds like you know some stuff in that area, so therefore bring it on out. Judith says, sent the video on how lab meat is made. All right, so where do we send it? To the email contact? I'll check it out. She says, been fed to types of, it has to be fed some types of nutrients. That's true. But I see ain't none of y'all answering the question. Is it alive? Ain't none of y'all touched on that bad boy. Come on with it. Don't be scared. Every part of DNA has everything it needs to create the cow. They aren't allowing the growth that long. Okay. Well, I'm saying, is it alive? I doubt it has a soul, is what Diana says. Appreciate it. Lab grow meats. Okay, so why wouldn't it? If they're taking a cell, keeping it alive, it's growing into something else, then is it alive? And anything alive, does it has a soul? And all right, Salsa said, yeah, he said would. And Laura said it's alive, and that's crazy and cruel. All right, but all right, so someone else said it's alive. All right, so we there. Diana said, I don't think it's alive. Well, I mean, then it could die. If they don't serve it nutrients, then the possibility of the cell dies, right? Am I right or wrong? I don't know. So that'll be something interesting to really find out. All right, so we got a YouTube video. How long is this video? It's pretty long, but yeah. So is it all right? We have a new member right now, Billionaire Noni. All right. So we have 6 new members. We need 4 more to go. Thank you for helping us out. Noni Billionaire. I wonder if you got your name out to that Noni juice that used to be in back in the day. It was a network marketing company. Man, I think, who was the guy? Robert Dean. It was a lot of people in that company. That was years ago. Y'all was a long time ago. Y'all probably little kids back then, but Noni juice, that was the big MLM back years ago. All right, so Matthew says the divine spark happens to at conception and say no, it doesn't have a soul, but I believe it's alive. Right. All right. So so now we finna eat Frankenstein, right? Frankenstein was alive, but he didn't have a soul. He was a monster or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's something we need to think about. So, but anyway, y'all give Billionaire Noni a welcome to the members tonight. Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 more, and then we'll reach our goal at 10. So, member-thon, right? And everything else. So I appreciate it. He said nickname since I was a kid. Look it up. Noni Juice was a $1 billion company years back that they were doing network marketing. A lot of people was in it, especially in our communities. Noni, Tahitian Noni, or whatever the name of the company. It was huge back 20, 30 years ago. People was making millions and billions of dollars selling that stuff. So, heck, your parents probably was in it. You may know, depending on how old you are. And then ask them. They'd be like, yeah, I did name you after Noni Juice. It was a big company. All right. So, so y'all welcome him too. All right. So I get it. Salsa says, write the formula to make it made up to live organisms. So, I mean, I don't know. So if something is kept alive, then, all right. So how about this? Tell me, and that would be the question. I'm kind of throwing us off the box here, but a tree is alive, but does it have a soul? Do trees, do grass, does it have a soul? Does an ant have a soul? I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're alive, but do the tree have a soul? And so therefore I would assume what we're talking about may not be. So, all right. So we have another member has spoken. So let me put something up here. Thought question. If you can cut your finger off, is your finger alive? Does it? No, it's dead. Your finger doesn't survive without the other parts, and it dies. And that's usually why they can't save it, because once it got cut off, it's been off too long. And so therefore it's dead. It's not connected to anything. Now, they could probably take that finger, maybe, and this is probably where you're going, and connect it to some device and keeping it alive until it's transported somewhere. Okay, so you got a great point a little bit there. I mean, it does, make you think a little bit. And Kia says souls are living. Yeah. Magneticus says my friend swore that Noni Juice, that he had the worst help out of all that. Yeah. Yeah, that Noni Juice supposed to have helped a lot of people, Magneticus, back in the day. I mean, it really was. Supposed to have been some good stuff. All right, so yeah, I guess we could look at it that way. Dinah says everything has a consciousness. Yeah, so we would know. All right, so once again, 4 more members tonight. We'll reach our goal. If you have not joined us, at least even supporting us at $3 a month, and even out of that, YouTube send 40%. They keep 40%, so it's like $1.80. But anyway, know that we have value to you more than that. And if that's it, so there's a very big reason why I'm pushing our members area. And I don't need to tell you twice, but if you knew last week's show we did on Forbidden Knowledge TV, got flagged. I got a call from Billy Carson saying, hey, Roderick, we got to take this down. He said, well, we got to put it in a private area, and which none of us have access to his membership site because he doesn't have one, right? So they made it private. So I took it from there and put it in our members area so that we can watch it. And as we analyze, I have gotten feedback of there were some things said in that video that was pretty profound that they probably said, hey, we just can't put these things out there. But he was describing his alien encounter and how they came through I'm not even going to tell you all of that, but maybe all the members can watch it and y'all can comment on the video and people at least can read a few things. But outside of that, that is one of the things that we, have to understand, that some of this content is going to be put in some areas. And there's some reasons. So I've been saying it. I'm just saying it. And I don't want anybody shocked to do that. So we have to understand that. So anyway, let's see. Plants definitely have spirits of knowledge, is what Summer is saying. All right. So Sherry said, you're worth every penny and more. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just, I love to hear those things. Be like, yeah. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. All right. So we just talked about that a little bit. All right. And, tomorrow I'll be on Forbidden Knowledge with Paul Wallace tomorrow night. So y'all know who that is. And so we'll be doing that particular show. And we're going to be talking about his book, Eaton's. Man, that is a great book. So y'all want to make sure y'all doing that as well. So Matthew says the interview that I did with Marquise was a good one. Yeah, I think it was good. I think everybody need to watch it and go in there and check it out in the members area and see that content. He really had a lot of courage coming and telling his story. So I think that was pretty good to there. All right. So right now, tonight's sponsor show is by Daniel at $30. Give an opportunity. Anyone else want to, cash out $31 and you'll be the next, you'll be the next sponsor of the show and pretty much. Is there anything else out there too that is happening that we need to kind of know about that is not talked about, especially when it comes down to what we're doing? Are we missing anything else that you are hearing about this lab grown food? Is there anything else? Let me know. Someone tell me something real quickly so we can kind of do that. I want to know what's going on with that. And so she says, I watched it a second time. Shout out to the brave soul. Yeah, Kia, it's a great interview. And I think everybody needs to check it out if they can. But it's the members only because we was forced to do so. And there's going to be a lot of other content that we're going to be doing. I'm beating a dead horse. Well, maybe we turn it into a sailed horse and now it's lab grown. It won't be a dead horse. It'll be a lab grown horse. All right. We won't beat the dead horse. Yeah. We won't be doing that. And we just be doing something else total from there. But yeah. All right. So the fact of the matter, if you just got here, I'm going to play again a little clip from Cat Williams. It got a little profanity. So if you got kids around, go ahead and move him to the side. I should have said that earlier when I played it because he does not hold back on words. But it sets up what we're dealing with today. And this video was done in 2018. He was talking about it in 2018, and I thought that was pretty cool. It's funny. It's really funny. Summer says, laugh out loud, Roderick. You deserve all the compliments. Thank you very much for the compliments. All right. And it's good. Life is good. I think it's one of these things that a lot of stuff is coming down the pipeline, and I really enjoy what I'm doing. Definitely, the dream is years from now, setting up a studio here in Dallas, a big one. I mean, I have my little things here, but when you come in, you're going to see Why the Big Secret there and chrome lights and stuff. And somebody saying, hey, welcome to Why the Big Secret. And then you got your conference rooms and we're flying guests in and we're talking about some great topics and we're really hitting this thing. Everything is going really well. I see it. I lose sleep at night going through the dream of where we're going to go. And every day, in every way, I try to make things better and better, or my life is getting better and better. But the whole point is we as a collective is growing. But I do need y'all to start sharing the videos, talking about it. I'm going to start I got some more pictures to load up in the community tab. I may put some little ads up that if y'all can start sharing those things, definitely it'll be good. One of those things there, and it will be cool. It will be really, really cool to. Droney says, San Antonio. You in San Antonio? You down there with Lonnie, our show producer. Lonnie's in San Antonio. If you're in San Antonio, and so again, we're gonna. No, I'm gonna do it in Dallas though. I'm in Dallas, so I'm gonna do the thing in Dallas and everything else. And we are planning to have our first get together. So some of y'all want to help coordinate that. It's going to be here in Dallas. Y'all come out one Saturday. There's a duck pond over here. Then I can rent the facilities and we can claim it. It's got like this little thing. And I'll start showing pictures of it. We can all just kick it, have a great time. It's right outside of Dallas. So we won't be on a day that all the families and everybody else to be there taking up the space, but we can kind of chill, and do some great stuff. And so we can do that. He says regular cattle raising is the main factor of deforestation, and down here in Belize is where he is, and there's no narco-driven meat wars go on as we speak. Wow, narco-driven meat. What is narco-driven meat? Like, I mean, it's like, a little mini war on that. Wow, man. So they're gonna be ticked off. Where cows, some. Well, I'm sure some religious, races are happy that now that some people find cows sacred. See, that's what I'm talking about. We need to find out what religion finds cows sacred and how they feel about the fact that now they're using cells to grow these cows. It's a whole different story. I think it's something that we need to really look at and think about. All right, so we need 4 more members to reach our goal of 10 members tonight. Anybody new sponsor right here, you can cash out so you can do the sponsor. It is a way to contribute into the show in real time, right? Cash app is a good thing. And then anything else that's out there as we can talk. Also, seriously though, consider, I don't know how many of you have your home-based business. If you got your home-based business, I mean, we do have some good rates here. But if you want to sponsor this show, where we can start putting your advertisement up, if you got a little video clip we're going to be doing so many live streams throughout the week and whatever that will help at some point, depending on, how we work things out. But then also you go back and look, our videos and stuff is rising. Partnership today will be a beautiful thing because where we're going to be 6 months from now, and I will keep all of my sponsors at where they are 6 months from now. There's a lot of stuff happening. The books are going to be published. There's a lot of stuff coming out that's going to blow a lot of things up around. And so where you decide that you want to do, but if you got a business that we can promote, whether it's your channels, your YouTube channels, and all of this is a fee base, right? But if you want to promote, we can do that. Also, once again, if you are in the podcast and you are going to be putting out your own YouTubes, or you want to understand the storytelling side of things that I learned from all those show producers, things that is working on this channel, then it's called Make YouTube Money. It's half off right now. You can go to makeYouTubeMoney.com and it'll take you there. Put in your email address. It'll put you on a list. It'll take you over to the page if you want to join the membership. It's a lifetime access. We're going to be upgrading. I'm going to be putting more stuff as YouTube evolves, as new things grow. And I'm telling you, it's worth every penny if you get it. And if you don't understand some of the things I'm saying, don't get left behind with it, because YouTube is a big space. It's growing. It's new still. Podcast is still at its infancy stage. You can get in this thing, but you better come with it and understand the basic things that you're not going to get taught anywhere else. They're not just teaching some of the stuff that I put in here, these different formats that you can use, and it's something there. So anyway, that is makeYouTubeMoney.com, and it is half off and 50% right now. And I'm going to do it up toward the weekend a little bit. So jump on it. Don't sleep on knowledge, especially if you have aspiration. And you got to ask yourself, you might be sitting here saying, I don't want to grow my channel. I don't want to grow. Believe me, content creators in the years to come is going to be a valuable asset to have in your arsenal. They will not be replaced by AI at all, because AI can't do what I do. It can enhance what we do, but there's going to be over 300 to 600 million jobs. And we saw it in the last thing before, when everybody went off work for years, they all start streaming, they start watching YouTube. When these people get laid off, and I'm not saying that's a great thing, but they are going to turn to entertainment. They're going to turn to how-to. They're going to turn to language. Position yourself. And maybe you got a message. Maybe it's your time to tell your stories, or maybe it's whatever. And I'm using the word story because it's so important that you get inundated and understand some of those things from there. So anyway, anyone else sponsoring tonight, you can. Let me make sure I hang this up. Yeah, there we go. And once again, check it out. MakeYouTubeMoney.com. All right, so forget that. Let's go back to something else. Let's go. We got a couple of members are saying things in here. Native V said, hey, y'all, I'm late. You are late. Absolutely, you're late. In fact, you might be saying, well, how late am I? You're 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 54 seconds in counting. Well, you're here now, so it's no count anymore. But welcome. Welcome. All right. So, so definitely, once again, if you have your business and where's this video? I said in the chat, which video, Miss Maya? I'm not understanding what you're asking for. So if you can tell me what are you looking for, we can do that. But anyway, anybody who's not a member want to support us, and I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Our membership starts at $3, $2.99, $2.99. Some of you are here. If you've been here, you come all the time, and you're and blah, blah, blah. And I'm hoping that I've done enough job that you keep coming back, that you will support the channel. I am doing the wrong way by trying to support a $3 membership, and it's $1.80. It would take a gazillion folks to support us, but at least it will get you to a point to be ready for some of this content that's going to have to be behind the walls, and support the channel so that we now can reach out to guests and really look forward to things, because sometimes it's a little difficult to truly do that. And I am getting a little, not to be trying to bring this up all the time, it should be something automatic, but hey, I can run it across the screen and whatever, but one day it just makes a lot of difference. Anyway, our top supporter tonight is $30, and it's Daniel. He is supporting the show, so give him a shout out again. Daniel, he's here. He says, Ken Berry, what's going on? And so Daniel is sponsoring the show. So Daniel's right there in the chat. There's it right here. So y'all give him a thank you for supporting. And you can do that right up there with the cash out, and it'll come right over and you can support us. And then don't keep me from doing that. You might want to support $4 or $5. You can do that as well. All right, so let's get back into the story. I'm going to play this Cat Williams video. Some of y'all have seen it earlier, but if you hadn't, check it out. All right, so all right, you're a member, Darius G, so I'm going to pop it up here. Off topic, if the sub is believed to have had imploded the first day, why has no one asked what was the banging noise that they heard near the location? At first I thought it may have been some type of alien stuff. We'll say something about it in a minute, but I don't think they reported the banging noise after that or before that. And it makes a lot of sense, because they did report that it imploded the first day. And if any of y'all understand what that word means, it's just you squeeze this thing and it didn't go this way, it went this way. And that is a tough way to go. And we don't know what they heard, if they heard anything. That'll be something to think about, though. We would do that. Magnetic says 34 for $34.99 for Daniel. All right. He did give a little something. Let me go back here. Boy, you kicking it. He did. He had $4.99. You're right. So let me change that. Boy, I'm being corrected tonight. I love it, though. I really do. Yeah, I really do. Y'all keep up with it more. Yeah, that's great. It's a team effort here. All right. So there we go. And yes, $34.99, because he did a super chat and then he did the cash out. So y'all give a shout out for Daniel there. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's go back a recap. We have Tamara as a member. Thank you. Daniel became a member. That's 2. Yolanda is 3. Leanne is 4. Geo Conference is 5. And then Billionaire is 6. 4 more members is our goal. So if we can get 4 more members, that'll be good. And let's put that in the chat right there. All right. So I think the main thing is going to really, as we think about what is happening, especially with this food crisis, if we have one, right? And let me play the Cat Williams video. And yes, Judith said, who is the next sponsor? That is a great question. Who? I'm going to play the video, and who, by the time it's done, is the next sponsor. And we're going to give them a shout out and everything else. And Let's play the video again. It's got a little bad words, so put hide the kid's ears right about now because he does not hold back. All right, let's roll.
Shit be real shit, because these motherfuckers are attacking real shit at every motherfucking angle. They had a story on CNN 3 weeks ago that said the USDA has approved the sale of clone meat to the American public. What? See, I was high when I originally saw the story. So I waited all the way till I came down to relook at the story, and it still fucking said the USDA has approved the sale of clone meat to the American public. Ain't that about a god? You raggedy motherfuckers would feed. You gonna feed? We saw the movie Multiplicity. We know what the fuck clone mean, motherfucker. It mean retarded. You gonna feed us the retarded ass clone cow meat now? And I thought niggas was gonna tear up the streets and riot and shit, and nothing fucking happened. These motherfuckers, you gonna feed America the clone? Ain't it motherfuckers starving in other countries that we could have gave a goddamn retarded clone meat to first to see if that was gonna work out? They ain't got shit to eat. They don't give a fuck. You can't feed it to us first, you motherfuckers. And some of you same niggas gonna be eating the shit out that goddamn clone meat and talking shit about, nigga, fuck that, nigga. The clone meat is delicious, nigga. They put the garlic in the cow as a baby, nigga. You ain't even gotta season it. It just already grow up garlicky and delicious, nigga. They don't give a fuck about us. You know the clone meat gonna be cheap as shit, nigga. Fuck that. I went to McDonald's, got the mint clone combo for 19 cents, nigga. Had 11 big ass Big Macs in it. It was wonderful. That's all right. That's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Feed your baby the retarded ass clone cow meat and see what the fuck happened. You gonna be wondering why your daughter's 4 years old, weighs 611 pounds, got a little horn coming out her motherfucking braids, and the bitch can't do her alphabet correctly. Just A, B, C, D, Did you fed that bitch the retarded ass cow meat? These motherfuckers don't give a fuck.
Man.
To everyone tuning in, let me ask you, why the big secret concealing it from the mass view? UFOs circled in the sky, still get no reply. I think it's time for truth seekers to rise. Hands up if you're feeling how I'm feeling. Spread the truth and start revealing. Knocking down the doors of the big secret keepers. Truth seekers, coming through your speakers. What? Come on. Hey, are we alone? So many questions unanswered. Secrets amassed like a poisonous cancer. Find the files, but the evidence tampered. UFOs flying by become the standard. The war for information is far from over. Truth seekers bringing disclosure. What's done in the dark shall be revealed in time. Why the big secret about to blow your mind?
All right, now, so as we get ready to go back into a little more part of this show, basically at any given point, once again, I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting the show. Daniel is $34.99 is our sponsor. And then, of course, if you want to cash out there, we have a bunch of members in here tonight. Thank you for all supporting us tonight. And shout out to all of the members and everything else. And if you have not gotten your membership and you want to do so, I just will put that in the chat. And definitely you can do that right now. And let's give you a shout out. We're trying to get 4 more. So 4 more members. We'll reach our goal at 10. And I appreciate it from there in pretty much. So let's keep going. All right. So now we, as Cat Williams said, that video was done in 2018. He used the proper word at that point. He was talking about the word cloning. But now it's like I'm telling y'all before, they got a plan. The big secret keepers got a plan. The media, all of that, I don't care what they're reporting. They just still come back and says lab grown. Now, that probably is a specific term. And that is probably what is happening, is the fact that it is lab grown. It's growing in a lab. But is it not cloning? Is we're not talking about the same thing? Because if they went and said these words, we now got clone meat. And you heard Cat Williams said back then, and not that he's a political figure and he, starts marches or anything. I'm saying he said, why isn't people protesting about it? Why isn't people saying y'all out of your mind? What are you doing? Why is it that every time some of this stuff happens, we talk about it, but we don't do nothing about it? We talk about what could be happening and what you're not going to do. Well, how do we not make sure what we are not going to do? And put that out there to a point that we may not want this, especially if they're not giving out the benefits of why this is a good thing to do, right? And I went over some of the notes earlier. They tried to say that it's going to, some of the benefits of this is reducing greenhouse gas emissions, lowering land and water usage, is going to decrease forestation. It's going to make a sustainable protein source. It's going to control production environment, potential challenges and uncertainties is there, public perception and market adaptation. So all of these supposed to be some of not all of them, some of them supposed to be more benefit. So they're quickly to put this out here that it's going to be safer for the animals. I'm still lost on that one. And maybe somebody got to help me on that deal. Why? And if you the cow, that you're going to come in here and say, I know that at the end of this rainbow down here, we're going to slaughter you. But because this is traumatic for you, put on these, I said it before, golden shoes. We're going to feed you the best, whatever. You're going down this assembly line and they're just bathing you, washing you, and, rubbing your hair, and everybody's giving you affirmation. You're going to be great. You're a great cow, and, your destiny is going to help some people. And when we eat you, we're going to live longer. I mean, they're just telling this cow some great stuff. And it's supposed to make him feel better that at the end of the rainbow, he's going to get slaughtered versus going down this assembly line where it's just going down and ain't nobody saying nothing. He get to think about it in private. The cow, let's go, what the hell? What do I care? And so why do we care the process? Now, okay, I had a friend, Tato, said that whatever we eat, if they're going through the trauma, I forget how she put it. Maybe she can, but I forget how she put it, but she says if they're going through the trauma, we're going to inherit that within the food that we eat. So maybe that's part of the deal. You vote every time to purchase anything you buy. All right. So, yeah, I get it. Jen says, it's all marketing and twisting the narrative. All vegetarian is worse for the environment. I know some people that are vegans, and this is true story. My daughter this is way time ago. She was going vegan, and we ended up taking her to the hospital because they said protein deficiency, a whole lot of stuff. This was 20 years ago. But I'm saying, and she was like, I'm going vegan. All right. So that is something. Wolfman says that's only for Kobe beef. Okay. Y'all having a conversation in between. I really don't know what y'all talking about. But anyway, they're using cells from animals so they can't be a clone. Huh. All right. So Judith says clone equal lab grown, UFO equals UAP. You're on point. You're on point. But Salsa says, though, that they're using cells from animals and so they can't be a clone. All right. But see, that's what I asked earlier, Salsa, was, are they alive? Are we eating something that's not alive? Is the cells are alive and it coming from a live animal? Is there an extension of this animal? And could they take that cell, if necessary, take this on to another planet somewhere and reproduce a cow from it to let roam the lands in a new world? Could they do that? I want to know. Could they do that? I don't know. Lab grown meat will stop the process of slaughtering animals. Some of the processes are hard. No, I mean, Sonya, I get it, but I said that a while ago. The cow doesn't care. The animal doesn't care. Okay, if you're saying we want to eliminate the slaughter, period, I get what you're saying. But to do a humane slaughter is totally different. I mean, right? What's a humane slaughter? I mean, it's like, which way you want to go, this way or that way? What's a humane slaughter? That'll be the question. That is the question. Right? Am I wrong? Anybody? Right? Wrong? No? Wouldn't that be the question? That'll be the question. All right. So we'll look at that pretty much from there. All right. Anyone else want to let's look at something here. Hang on a second. And seeing how, all right, she says no more slaughtering at all. Well, then, so you're saying that you rather eat the lab grown meat versus slaughtering the cow. So you're a new customer. You're a new customer. And that's probably what they're thinking, that most people are going to go to this thing. Maybe that's what's going to go on, Sonya. I don't know. Jen says lab grown meat also strips of our bodies of micronutrients, and that it comes from an animal grazing in a pasture. See, ain't nobody thought about that. Nobody thought about you are what you eat, and that the animals are grazing out there in the pasture, getting nutrients that then transfer into our bodies. And maybe we were herbivores anyway. We wasn't, meat eaters, at some point, but nobody's saying anything about that. So who knows? And so that's a great thing. All right. So, So she says, consider epigenetic memory. It's not good for our bodies or our DNA to consume an animal that has been under severe stress its whole life. Okay. So we get that, but that's happening anyway, right? So I probably ate a lot of stress. I probably have eaten a lot of stress. It's probably why sometimes you feel stressed. I mean, it makes sense. Okay, so what would be a great humane way to end or consume a pig or a chicken, either kind of way? What would be a good way to do this? You know what I mean? So it'd be something for us to think about. I don't know. All right, another member, hang on for it. Let me go back here for a second. He said, let the grass grow along with the trees. I got you. And he says, there are different kinds of cells, she says. They have to be alive to reproduce. The type of cells that they are growing are specific kinds. A whole cow wouldn't be reproduced, but they have cloned animals. Sound like y'all lobbying for them now. Now the tables are turning. Everybody in the beginning of the show, I wouldn't eat it. I would. Now we got a couple of lawyers for them. Y'all doing good. We might need to do a vote. One, but I got to see if not just one, would we eat it, but is it the better thing to do? One would be it's the better thing to do. Two is no, we shouldn't be doing it, right? So how about that? Let's do a one if you think it's and maybe it's not the question. We can probably do a better question. It takes the power from revolutionary interests that are raising up against thee. The key is lab grown is a patent technology. All right. That'll be cool. All right. Okay. Not only, but the release of cortisol that happens when an animal is under severe stress isn't good for our bodies either. But it's in there. All right, so I know you're an animal lover, right? And I get it. So I'm missing the chats. I'm way down. You talk about pampering the cow. Kobe beef cows are pampered, giving you the most tender and the most expensive beef on the planet. Okay, so that is funny. They do take care of those Kobe beef cows, and maybe they understand if the animal, but nobody has told the cow his destiny. No one has told that Kobe cow, C. Gray, the destiny, because I'm sure somebody whispered in his ear while he's living that lavish lifestyle. And one of the other cows across the fence said, hey, man, come here, man. And he's over there talking to the other cow saying, man, you think you high and mighty? Yeah, man. He's like, yeah, we got it good going on over here. Look at us and what y'all doing. And he just said, it's all good. And he goes, yeah, I'm a high value cow. You know what I'm saying? You got to treat me right, take me on dates, and I'm high value. And he says, well, by the way, you see that little tower over there? Yeah, that's where you heading. And now what happens? When the Colby cow finds out the truth, that the end of the rainbow is down somewhere else. All right, so Jen says number 2. So she's saying it's not a good thing. All right, so and all right, Daniel says number 2 as well. All right. Okay, we're cool there. You don't see tribal folks. What you say? You don't see tribal folks that hunt for their food every day being stressed out like we are, that shoot and rejoice regularly. Okay. All right. Nobody's told us the destiny. Okay. Laura's smiling. Kia says, Tamara says 2. Kia says 2. All right. I know, but I'm saying Native V says not eating it. She's not doing it at all. Magnetica says, I'd rather eat a buffalo. All right. So what do we do? Yeah, it's what do we do? There's something that we will think about at some point. We'd have to do that. I don't know. But I mean, it's again, I think the COVID beef cow, you better tell them what's going on and whatever from there. All right, once again, let me say this for any of you. Once again, let's give a shout out to Daniel for being tonight's sponsor. Anyone else want to sponsor tonight's show, you can definitely do that. And all you have to do is cash out, or you can cash out anything. But if you want to cash, and we'll call it out anyway. But if you want to be tonight's sponsor of the show, you can put that there and cash out, and you will be. All you have to do is be $35. You'll beat him by a penny, and you'll be sponsor of tonight's show. And if you are not a member, we need 4 more people a member. If you're a member, that's cool. If you've been here months and months and you have never given to Why the Big Secret, it's still okay. But I will say that hopefully we bring you enough value that you will join our membership, even at the curious level, which is $2.89 a month. And YouTube gets 40% of that. So that's $1. I wish I can had it in my wallet. It's in there that I can actually hold y'all up $3 bills. Okay. 3 $1 bills. So you can see it. And then I will let you understand I'm asking you, and do I have enough value than 3 $1 bills per month? You know what I mean? Okay. All right. So what happened? Did I miss something? Y'all thinking? Yeah, thank Daniel. Yes, thank Daniel for being the supporter of where he is in there. And as y'all know, 30 days from now, Forbidden Knowledge Awards. Make sure you're going. Get your tickets. We're going to probably do the votes in this week. So definitely, I have to definitely play that a little bit so that you can understand what is happening and support that. And then you get an opportunity to vote for Roderick as well. And I definitely want you to be able to do that. And you can, let me see if there is a, yeah, here we go. I'm going to put this up on the screen right now, just for a second. Voteforroderick.com. This is where you're going to go to vote for the Forbidden Knowledge Awards. If you nominated me the first time, that's cool, but now you vote again to win, okay? So
hey everybody, it's Billy Carson, also known as Forbidden Knowledge. I want to talk to you about a very special event coming up July 30th, 2023, the Forbidden Conscious Awards, the first annual event of its type. We're going to honor people who have been contributing to the conscious community for decades. People that you know and love that have helped you get to higher levels of thought and consciousness and awareness. And guess what? It's time to give them their flowers while they're still alive. It's going to be a live in-person event, but seats are going to sell out very fast. You want to make sure you're there in person for this amazing level event. It's going to be above the Oscars, above the Grammys. And guess what? You can help vote for the winners. Voting is available on forbiddenknowledge.com. And the categories are going to be social media influencer, podcast/radio host, TV host, actor, director, producer, entrepreneurs, health and wellness, philanthropists, authors, field researchers, archaeologists, space anomaly hunters, and of course, a Lifetime Achievement Award. And you want to be there in person because I'm going to be speaking. That's right, I'll be your keynote speaker that night at the Forbidden Conscious Awards. If you want to come to a mini conference, this is the place to be because I'm going to give you the knowledge that night as well as performances. We have celebrity guests performing. We'll have a halftime show where we're actually going to perform music for you. And don't forget about the pre-event mixer, where if you buy a box seat, you'll be in the VIP section, and you also have private access to a VIP mixer with celebrity guests. Shake hands, break bread, network, and then walk the red carpet with us and take amazing photos. It's going to be a night to remember. You don't want to forget this. And you help vote by going to forbiddenknowledge.com. Go to the Conscious Awards link. You can text in a vote for who you want for any category. As well as if you're out of the country, you can use the web form ballot to still vote for anyone you think is worthy of being honored that night. Make sure you hurry up and get your tickets because they're selling out very fast. I want to see you there. Forbidden Conscious Awards 2023.
All right, so man, make sure you vote for Roderick. We got a new sponsor of the show, and it's Soleil is the business that is sponsoring us tonight. So y'all make sure y'all give a shout out because I really appreciate it and everything that you all are supporting the way you are. It really means a lot, okay? And like I said before, if you don't find the value, I'm disappointed. I really am. Not in you, but I mean, I got to do even a better job to be worth our memberships. But I love you. I love each and every one of you when you do that. But in the meantime, we're going to continue, but give the Soleil a shout out for being part of that. Yes. Give Soleil a shout out to being the new sponsor as well. So here's the deal. All right, so every day we're going to be evolving. We're going to do a lot of stuff. I'm going to be here to serve you as always, and I really enjoy what I'm doing. Make sure you vote for Roderick, which is on the screen. It ends just in a couple of days, and hopefully if you're going to be at the Forbidden Knowledge Awards, that I see you when we down there, and that's how it's going to roll when we're there. And so vote for Roderick, and let's continue. We can keep rolling a little bit. All right, so Daniel says we all should eat as nature made it, period. You know what? It's funny you said that because there's a guy that used to say, if God made it, eat it. If man made it, leave it. That's for a new shirt, Tato. There you go, right there. So, yeah. We should do it just that. Judith said, Sonia said it earlier. Cool. Sarah says, even seeds are GMO now and have to order from our other country to get non-GMO seeds to grow food. That's one of the things I'm telling y'all. Now, I'm going to probably start selling survival gear and other products, especially like seeds. I think that we should be buying seeds. I think you're talking something you want to pass down to the next generation of generations, because Montecito and all these companies are they're not allowing seeds to be in these foods or nothing. Somebody is saying 30 years from now, they're going to control. Could you imagine them sitting in a boardroom? We're going to control the growth of plants and all of this stuff, vegetables or whatever, because there are no seeds available. Man, yeah, that'll be a great shirt. Yeah. So we're going to, which one? Be a great shirt. Put the words in there. So we'll do that. But anyway, yeah, give Soleil a shout out for $50 support. The only challenger that they would have probably be Droney, but outside of that, I appreciate you and for supporting. If anyone else want to do that. And believe me, it all is beneficial in what we're doing, more than you know. But you do know, y'all know, because that's why you give, and pretty much. So I really want to thank y'all. Get a bunker. I know, right? I would do that. Sonia says she grow basils and starting to grow garlic. You're going to have to grow some more stuff than that, right? I mean, but I guess that would be good to say, you got a green thumb. But imagine this, though. Imagine at some point this is all lab grown. Right? It looks good. I'm coming over to your house for a barbecue and you pull out all of this and we think we're getting ready to eat. Ain't none of it. All of it is like lab grown. Do we eat? Do we continue to grub? You know what I'm saying? Or do I be like, no, man, I ain't with that. But if it's the only thing left for us to eat, then we're going to have to eat it. I think we're going to have to eat it, and that's what's going to happen. Yeah. So, yes. Yeah, y'all give Soleil a hand of applause there. Yeah, so y'all make sure y'all do that. And I did pronounce that right. So I know sometimes yeah, Soleil, that's it. I pronounced it right. You can talk about you pass on the steak and pork, but you ain't gonna know. son. You ain't gonna know. That your friends ain't gonna tell you that they went the cheap route out and went and bought some, if it was cheaper at this point, some lab grown food, and that's what they're doing. So we already eat. Okay, so what about this impossible meat? Is out of, most of that impossible meat is grown out of like beans or something. I forget what they make it out of, right? It's, soy or something. Well, ain't nobody complaining about that. And you can go to Burger King and get an impossible burger and it tastes just like it almost, because all they do is put a little flavor in the meat probably. I mean, that's something. That's probably what they can do with anything. They can probably put flavor in anything to taste like anything, but it's not good for us, right? Yeah. All right. So we got another member says, I must be crazy, but why I'm more concerned for humans than the animals? You know what? This is my point that I was trying to make. Everybody's talking about the poor animal, talking about he's going through trauma, getting to my plate. But what about us? Who's thinking about it? The humans. Okay, I know some of y'all healthy people like Roderick. I don't eat meat anyway. I eat grass, and y'all in trouble because I'm a vegetarian or meatitarian or planetarian or whatever kind of word. But you don't eat what we eat. You don't go to McDonald's. I don't eat that kind of stuff. So I don't care. I'm going to save the pigs, or I'm going to save the cows and all that. But yeah, I'm with you, man. What about the humans? Us, the humans. Nobody's talking about us. Y'all just talking about, the beef on the animals, But yeah, I mean, but okay, he says, if what you eat is patented and owned by multinational corporations and what you eat is how they would work it out. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna control it all. And at this point, so we need to be doing something. That's what we're gonna do. All right, so we're gonna put our resources together one day. We're going to go out and buy. Okay, so we're going to do that. Y'all listen to me up. I'm going to reach out because I already had this list of people because I used to sell Survivor gear back in the day. I'm going to find the best people that we can buy large quantities of seeds and all of that stuff. And we're going to chip in and we're going to buy and distribute among us. And like I said, it's got to be 100-year-old seeds and stuff, right? Stuff that you can leave to your kids and then you can leave them this stuff for years to come, right? And that'll be a good idea, to really have stuff like that and pretty much. Yeah, I think that'll be good. What do y'all think? Y'all think we need to go on a seed drive or containment? We don't need to put in like one of these bio companies because all they're going to do is destroy the company. Somebody's going to drop something there and it's going to wake up the next day and it's totally bombed out. And all of our seeds gone. We need stuff that you can store at your house. Like I said, give it to your children. Tell them, hey, hang on to these seeds. This is important. All that kind of stuff. And so we need to really be like, okay, let's figure this thing out and really try to go somewhere with this. I think it's something that we can consider, or we should consider, right? At some given point, we should consider it. And really think about what we're doing and how everything else is working. I think so. From the time being, yeah. So y'all saying Rodder that? Yeah, let's do it. And Geo Compass says we can add on that a great way. Yeah, let's do it. Custodian File says FDA Wall Street. Yeah. And pretty much from there, yeah. And like I said, our channel is growing. Y'all remember Custodian Files? Y'all make sure y'all check out his stuff. He was one of our early on sponsors and helped us in the greatest ways. And so we're now getting bigger and bigger, y'all. And so definitely you want to, promote your business and stuff and link on to us because I'm just saying there's some big things coming. We're going to get bigger, but we want everybody with us in the now to benefit from what's going to happen. And we'll pretty much do that. So, yeah, we should do some seed exchanges. Yeah, we should. I think we should do that. I have some, a Truth Seekers bunker. Yes, that would be good. Judith says farmers can't buy real corn seeds in the year. Well, corn has been like, this was about 15 years ago. I did a presentation on corn. I forgot what it was for. But corn was at some point, the government got into that deal, right? Because we was producing so much corn, it was a commodity. So they start figuring out, hey, well, how can, because it had this storage life, and it just made it turn into money, right? They said, well, how can we use this for other stuff? And so now they start processing. You got corn syrup, you got all these different things, and it's just so much when we look back at it. And I think that if we, the people, we're not in on the game of some of this stuff, we're gonna wake up one morning and not have anything. We're not gonna be able to grow this. Everything gonna be limited. Somebody's gonna own the grapes, and somebody's on. Why do we think like that as a collective, though? We need to put a company together. And we need to put our own company together, fund it, and own something for the people. We need to get a technology, get one of these people, and say, okay, we're going to produce something that we can trade later when money is not going to be that big of a value, but a commodity is. Maybe I'm just making some stuff up, but yeah. We can do that. Let's see here. He's got a huge one, Dang City Underground. Yeah, we can do a bunker. I mean, we have to. Yeah, Billy Carson. Yeah, he makes bunkers and stuff now. He got a waiting list for that stuff. Yeah, so he got a waiting list for people that builds his bunkers and stuff too. So yeah, corn is lab made. Well, I think all of the stuff out of corn is, and it may be because now they're feeding corn to Simon. They're feeding corn to, of course, the animals who normally wouldn't eat corn, but they're all munching off the corn, right? They got them hooked on corn. And so let's do that. So, yeah, we got one of our members starting his business funding company. He can get you up to $250,000 and work on some credit and get some stuff doing. So we got a huge, good collective community that we're going to be doing some stuff. And we'll be talking about that stuff later in the future from there. So, but in the meantime, all of you storytellers, all of you people that you're going to put your content out here and get to speaking, join the collaborator. Any of you that's part of the, YouTubemoney.com, where I'm teaching storytelling tactics. I'm putting together a mastermind behind the scene of all of us. Now we can collectively put messages out there. We can collectively work together and pretty much do a lot of stuff. I mean, it's time for change to do that. So if you hadn't had an opportunity, go to YouTube, make YouTubemoney.com, get over there, put in an email address. It'll take you to the thing. It's half off. You can go in there. You're going to learn some great stuff. I'm going to teach you some good storytelling techniques, stuff from producers. If you want to produce the content, stuff that I learned from being on 9 TV shows, working with some of the big producers, stuff that they don't teach that's out there. So you definitely want to do that. I mean, I do have a format, a way I talk this stuff out. It's not just, just talking off the side of the lip, but that you have to put it all together so we can do that. So let me look in here right now. We're going to be here just a little while longer. And we're going to do that. So anyway, we have 4 people. There's 4 of you that I'm going to look in here that I know that y'all are friends of mine and you've been here a long time and that you should have your membership. I'm not going to call you out. I wouldn't dare do that, but you know who you are. Y'all can get your membership. She says, when does it start? When does what start, Sarah? Which what? Maybe I said something I need to come back to, unless you're talking to somebody else in the chat. But anyway, when does what start? And then we'll go from there. Daniel says we only consume 30% of the corn we grow. I know a lot of people don't know it. The government paid them for the overages. I was studying it. They can produce all the corn in the world, and the government subsidized them for the stuff that's not even used. It's crazy. I was like, what? You can be selling corn and nobody's using it. So they put it in these silos, and then the government is paying them to overly produce this corn that we're not even consuming, as though something in the future is like whatever, right? It's crazy when they do that. I was looking at that when kids said, I started my seed collection during global sickness as soon as I found out I could buy it with EBT. All right, there. And I'm all for with Why the Big Secret Seed Exchange. Okay, then. And the cookbook and the book of the She-Wolf. that Jen is working on. She Wolf Chronicles. We'll be doing that as well. All right, y'all good. We good, folks. We're gonna do some great stuff together. All right, I really do. All right, so what I want y'all to do is look at the people who's part of our comments and shirt. Now, anybody that doesn't have a green, they're not a member, and anyone, if not, you can definitely become. And just put the link there. Let me go over to all of our shout outs today. First of all, let's give a shout out and where it all began. So let me do this right now so that everybody know where we are. So let's do this. Okay. So first of all, it all began today. And I'll give a clap out for the applause for that. But it all began today with the greatness of Sarah there, $4.44. So she was the first one that was sponsoring the video. And then Judith came in with 11.11. So y'all give a thanks for there. Then Judith came back with $9.99. So became one of our top there. And then Daniel gave $4.99. Then he came back and became a sponsor at $30 as well. And now Soleil came back with the $50 there. So the next are new members today. Let me put them all up here. We're going to start with Tamara was our first new member. Then Daniel became a member. Y'all give a shout out. Yolanda became a member. There's 3. Leanne Bridges became a member. That's 4. Geo Compass became a member. That's 5. And then New Billionaire became a member. That's 6. And I was hoping for 4 more to reach our goal tonight to have 10. And okay, my brother, sorry I'm late, better than nothing. All right, so it says it won't let you join. What do you mean? What is happening? What is it doing? What? I'm gonna call YouTube right now and get on them. Yeah, so what happened? Beginning's journey. Let me put another link up here. You can try that again, but I don't know. I'll be mad if it doesn't let you join. We're going to get on them. Yeah. Martin Meatworks. I know, right? We can definitely look at all those things and try to understand that. I think it's pretty good. But at the end of the day, we got to really realize what is happening with what is going on and the fact that it was approved today. We're not going to hear about the next one. Y'all know that, right? We're not going to hear about any other companies that get into the game of being able to produce lab-grown meat. They already got the temperature now. The temperature is set. We're not complaining. We're not saying anything. A couple of restaurants are going to be using it and everything else, and everything else. And so YouTube trips out. Somebody that says I couldn't join it until I got a VPN. Wow. All right. So, yeah. So they just checked our temperature. So they checked our temperature, Truth Seekers, and they know that now they can pull this off. They can now say anybody else going to fly under the radar and begin to produce lab-grown meat. That's what's getting ready to happen without a shadow of doubt. Done deal. So it's up on us now. We ain't said nothing about it. There's no, there's no, Judith says, what's a VPN? If you can give her the technicalities of that. I think it's a virtual, forget what it's called, but it has your IP address. And maybe some people, virtual private network is what it is. And so it'll hide your IP address. A lot of people use them to go to websites where they don't want to be tracked in some point. So somebody could be trying to be a member, but they probably in some country that it's not supposed to happen or something. But I don't think Beginnings is in another country. Maybe because I'm watching. It may be. All right. Well, just shut one of them down for a second, become a member, and then come right on back. That would be my suggestion. All right. But yeah, so it spoofs the machine. I don't use VPNs. Back in the day we did, a lot of, when we was in that kick of, just hiding stuff. But there are certain times that you need to, and then they're watching everything. So at this point, you know, it may be a great way to hide some of this stuff that you end up doing that as well. All right, so we're going to be here another 10 minutes maybe. And is there anything else we need to cover that we need to? And pretty much from there. And we will definitely be doing that really soon. And I'm excited for that as well. So anyone else that we need to give a shout out to or anything in particular, like I said, if y'all can share the channel, we definitely want to be doing that. And make sure all that is going down. Okay. Make sure you share the channel. Make sure we're going down. If you're new here, how about that? If anybody's new, this is your first time here, put in a chat real quick. Let us say hello to you. Any new people, anybody new today that's watching for the first time and you haven't even spoken nothing, just put in the chat. Just say I'm new, blah, blah, blah. And we want to give you a shout out as always. Tomorrow night, Paul Wallace will be on Forbidden Knowledge. I'll be interviewing him about his book. And then Thursday we'll be back. Friday we'll be back. So be ready for that. We'll have some good stuff. And we're pretty much that. How you vote as Dave Scott's neighbor and then change the VPN and then I vote for Roderick's. I heard that. He said that's how that works. All right. So anybody new tonight? Anybody new? All right. So with that being said, we will get ready to get out of here for tonight. I hope each and one of y'all had a great time tonight. I know some places are a little late and pretty much from there. So definitely we'll be doing that and trying to figure this thing out big time. Okay. All right. So with that being said, it's been a plum pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege, you know, being here with you tonight. And watch out for the next videos that we're going to release. There are going to be some mini documentaries that I'm doing. So it'll be like 15, 20-minute videos. There'll be a couple of them loaded up real soon. So I definitely want you to do that. Teacher, you know what? Kia, I'm so sorry. I left a little bowl thing in the other office in there. Here's the deal. When the show starts Thursday, please come. You come. Make sure you remind me to make sure we're going to pull for the shirts. We're going to pull. We got 3 names in it. And I will pull it and then we're going to pull it. And then they can tell me whatever shirt that they want. If you have not bought a shirt, that's fine. And everything else. And so I will pull it. Fair enough, Kia. I'm sorry. I apologize. I really do. Charge it to my head, not my heart. But yes, just remind when we start the show Thursday live, make sure you write down cross screen. Raffle tonight. And then I'll make sure, regardless, Paul go and get it. And then we will do that at the beginning of the show. But they got to be present to win. So the people that's in it, you got to be present to win. If they're not present to win, to claim, then they won't win. That's all. We would do that. All right. So good night, y'all. Everybody say good night to each other. How about that? So we can say good night to each other.
Why did Ruby shoot Oswald? Was there a conspiracy?
In a world shrouded in darkness and obscured by deception from the big secret keepers, a burning question ignites in the hearts and minds of truth seekers. Why? Let's dive into the abyss of the unknown. Challenge the limits of our understanding.
This bizarre sequence of double killings raised great questions. Who actually fired the shot that killed Kennedy?
Pierce the veil of secrecy.
Cattle found dead and the manner of their deaths are a real mystery.
Anyone who is concerned about lead in the drinking water in Flint.
And venture into the realm of conspiracies and extraterrestrial evidence.
A huge explosion now, raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way.
Let us consider the question.